If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Full House on the Road subscribers and followers. Yesterday on my new Facebook group, someone posted that the BLM in Arizona is kicking people out. More specifically, is enforcing the 2-week rule in the BLM, which apparently is quite odd. I mean, this is not the first time I've heard it. This woman says she has stayed in this spot in years past for 3 or 4 months at a time. Now the rangers are starting to do patrols and enforcing the 2-week rule, which means you have to leave after 2 weeks. You stay at a spot and then you move. First, I was astonished that anybody would admit that they stay in the BLM or National Forest anywhere longer than 2 weeks. I mean, the reason behind staying 2 weeks is so people don't make residence in the National Forest and the BLMs. And apparently this person was admitting that they had established a residence in the BLM. And she said that Arizona is on fire, which didn't make any sense. I mean, if it's on fire, why aren't they just kicking everybody out? So I started doing some investigation. So here's what's going on. 2 of the national forests in Arizona are shutting down. Tonto National Forest and Coconino National Forest are shutting down. They shut down right before Memorial Day because Arizona is having huge forest fires. So what they're trying to do is prevent bigger fires. This means since it's shut down, especially during a busy season apparently because of the holiday, folks are migrating over to the BLM. Well, 2 things are going on over at the BLM. The BLM is enforcing the rules, you know, so other people can come in and you know, circle around. The second reason is they're starting to try to monitor if there's any potential fire threats in the BLM. Arizona apparently is having a very dry spell. The fire season started early this year. It started in April, so they've really been monitoring it. There are huge fines if you're caught in these 2 national forests. And possible prison time. So don't go there. So my heart goes out to everybody in Arizona. I hope the firefighters stay safe. The rangers stay safe. I hope everybody is safe. I hope Arizona gets this under control. The National Forest and the BLMs, I hope they are able to get this all under control and we're able to save those forests and beautiful landscapes. Now let's talk about this residency thing. It is a real issue. I mean, it is a real problem. People going out in these national forests and taking up residence. 2 presidential administrations ago, Cola National Forest had a huge issue. And I did some quick research on this. Didn't want to spend a lot of time because I already kind of knew the gist of it. But the Cola National Forest, people had taken up residence there. There was a lot of drug making going on. There was a big problem there. That administration did a task force, got it all cleaned up, moved everybody out. Look, these folks are sitting on national forest land paid by the taxpayers using your money to do whatever activities they want to do. Now, if we go back over to Arizona, I read an article that said that there was one fella who was warned several times, you have to move, you have to move, you can only stay 2 weeks, you can only stay 2 weeks. Well, finally, they arrested him. I think it was a huge fine. I think it was $10,000 if I recall right, and he got prison time. Apparently, according to that National Forest District, this is the first time they've ever arrested anybody because what they normally do is they come out, they may either take your license plate number and then 2 weeks later come back and see if you're still there, or they just come out and say, hey, you have 2 weeks from this starting point to go. But in the article I was reading about the fellow who got arrested after he got several warnings to keep moving, there was actually somebody who had built a cabin right there on public land, national forest land. So when this lady said that she had been here in years past, and this is the first time they've ever enforced the 2-week rule, well, you should be self-regulating yourself. You're going to damage the land. You're going to cause problems. You're going to get national forests shut down. Here, I've talked about this before. More and more campgrounds, free, are now charging a fee for these same campgrounds. I just saw one down in Apalachicola National Forest. It's been free for the last 2 years. And now they're going to make a paid site, and it's not cheap. They're going to go from, I think, $0 to $10 a night. Why are they doing this? Well, they had to get a campsite host there, bathrooms, trash cans, the whole thing, because people were staying there just for long periods of time. Well, they have to ramp up enforcement, so all this takes money, so they're going to start charging. People keep saying, oh, they're never going to start charging for these free campsites. There's just too much land to do it. Yes, they are doing it. It may be slow at first, like I just said, but it's going to happen. For the folks who are doing this full-time in a van out in the BLMs in the National Forest, you should be moving around. Besides, what's the fun in just staying in one spot? Let's go. Let's move. I mean, we stayed in Florida for the winter, and I was starting to kind of like, maybe we should go, maybe we should go, maybe we should go. And the closer it got and the warmer it got, I mean, the more anxious I got to leave. Enjoy the adventure. Here's the other thing about the BLM. During the research, I found that two different requirements that conflict with each other. One says that if you stay for 2 weeks, then you have to move for 25 miles to stay in another spot at the BLM. Another one said 50 miles. And I'm not sure which one's right. Again, back on my Facebook page, several people looked at the same requirement. When I scratched my head and asked the question, everybody said the same thing. Wow, there is two different requirements. I would even say you got to move 50 miles just to be safe. So anyway, that's the update on Arizona. I wish everybody the best. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.